Hi viewers, in this video we will discuss the cost management terminologies. Let us first discuss the sub-disciplines of accounting. The first sub-discipline of accounting we have financial accounting. What we are doing in financial accounting? In financial accounting, we are preparing the reports which are available to both external and internal users at the same time. And we have main focus, historical focus, like we are dealing with the past transactions which already occurred, and the reports which we are preparing, those are available to both internal and external users. Like you know that for publicly listed companies, we are publishing the financial statements which are equally available to our external users as well. Next we have management accounting. Management accounting preparing such kind of reports which are available to only internal users. Like we don't have any kind of obligation to issue these reports for our external users. And our focus is mainly future oriented focus. We are preparing different kind of reports like projected financial statements, budgeting, break-even analysis, pricing. All these things we are dealing in management accounting. The third sub-discipline of accounting, we have cost accounting. Cost accounting is such branch of accounting which support both financial and management accounting. It will help us to calculate the cost of various cost objects, because without calculating the cost of various cost objects, we cannot report the profitability. So in order to report the profitability, we must have to calculate the cost of various cost objects. So cost accounting helping us to calculate the cost of various cost objects. Now we will discuss about the cost. Let us first discuss the general definition, then I'll explain you what's the cost of inventory, what's the cost of fixed asset. So as a general definition, when we define it, the total resources which we foregone to acquire something, that we call as the cost of item, a measurement in monetary terms of the amount of resources used for some purpose, like total resources foregone to acquire something, we define as cost. But when we go specifically, like what will be the cost of fixed asset, what will be the cost of inventory, so that we have to discuss in a different way. Like when you talk about the cost of fixed asset, we say is that total cost which we incur to bring the fixed asset in usable condition. Say we bought a new fixed asset and we will incur some cost. Say we will pay to the supplier in case you paid the air freight, if you are importing this fixed asset, in case you paid some sort of installation cost, in case you paid any kind of testing cost. So all these costs you will incur before bringing it into usable condition. So this will be the total cost of fixed asset, total cost incurred to bring the asset in usable condition. So like that, we consider the cost of fixed asset. When we talk about the cost of inventory, this is the total cost which we incur to bring the items till our warehouse. Like you might be paying air freight, some custom duties you paid to the supplier. So that will be the total cost of your inventory. As a general, when we are saying total resources foregone to acquire something, that's the general definition of cost, how to define the cost. When we go specifically to the cost of fixed asset or to the cost of inventory, we are counting it on the basis of bringing it in usable condition or on the basis of bringing it in till specific location. Now, further, we can discuss the terminology related to the cost object. Cost object is an entity to which cost can be attached. Anything to which cost can be attached, like we can justify that the cost incurring on this particular item, we can define as cost object. Like we have products, we have processes, we have employees. So these can be the different examples of cost object. Anything to which we can attach the cost, we can justify that the cost we are incurring on this particular item, that can be considered as cost object. We can have different examples for cost object, product, processes, employees. These can be the possible examples for cost object. Next one, students, we have cost driver. Cost driver is the ultimate factor which is responsible for the incurrence of cost. Cost driver, how we define as per IMA, measure of activity such as direct labors, direct labor hours, machine hours, beds occupied. Because industry wise, we are defining the cost drivers. Each industry can have different cost driver. This is actually the ultimate factor responsible for the incurrence of cost. Say if the labor is working, related cost will incur. If the machines are running, related costs will incur. Like we can take the example, airline industry, we can consider number of flight hours as cost driver. In transportation industry, number of miles driven we can consider as cost driver, because this is the ultimate factor responsible for the incurrence of cost. Here, another example you can see in hotel industry, number of beds or rooms occupied can be considered as cost driver. In case if rooms are not occupied, different kind of costs will not incur, like utilities costs, housekeeping costs, food cost. This is not going to incur if beds are not occupied. So cost driver is one of the factor which is ultimately responsible for the incurrence of cost. If this factor is consuming, we will see the consumption of resources on other side. So you can say that consumption of other resources linked with cost driver. Now we can discuss manufacturing costs. So let us discuss the direct materials. Like in our previous lectures, we discussed that we have three main elements of cost: direct materials, direct labors, and manufacturing overhead. So we have to clear what is the meaning of direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Any material which is traceable on per unit basis economically and efficiently, we define as direct materials. The word traceability, we should know that how much incurring we are, how much cost of material we are incurring on per unit basis. That is the main concept of traceability. Like we can take the example here, say we are in a furniture manufacturing industry and we are making the tables. Assume that you have exact calculation about the wood which you are using to make the table. You have exact calculation for one table, how much it will cost you to make one table, how much you are going to spend. So in that case, wood can be considered as direct materials. At the same time, we can clear the example of indirect materials. Say you are doing the manual polish for this table. Assume that you consume 10 buckets of polish to polish 100 tables. So on average, you know that how much you incurred on each table. But on per unit basis, you don't have the traceability. So as you don't have the traceability on per unit basis, so this polish can be considered as indirect materials. So any cost first, here itself you can clear the concept of direct cost and indirect cost. The cost which is traceable on per unit basis, Like you have exact calculation how much you are incurring for 1 unit. So that is our direct cost. That can be our direct materials and direct labor as well. Like we can take the example of labor, say a worker which is directly working on the table. His wages are traceable on per unit basis, how many hours he worked, and we know that how much wages we are paying to our worker. So his wages are traceable on per unit basis. But say we have departmental supervisor. So the salary of departmental supervisor not traceable. We don't know that how much supervision he provided to one table. So the salary of supervisor will be considered as indirect labor. So the main criteria to define something as indirect cost or direct cost, traceability. If something traceable on per unit basis, we define as direct cost, that can be direct labor or direct materials. If something not traceable on per unit basis, we define as indirect costs. So we have a cost pool here, which we call manufacturing overhead. Manufacturing, see, direct materials, direct labor. Other than direct materials or direct labor, whatever the different kind of indirect costs we are incurring, that is the part of our manufacturing overhead. Later, we will find another name for manufacturing overhead. We call it as cost pool. The word cost pool we are using for this one because we are accumulating different kind of indirect costs under one cost pool for our facilitation purpose. Like if each element of cost separately we will allocate to the product, being accountant, our work will never finish. So we are combining the different kind of indirect costs under one element which we call manufacturing overhead, and as a one element we will allocate to our products. And later we will have discussion how to calculate the application rates when we want to allocate the manufacturing overhead cost to the products. So at this stage we are just trying to understand what are the elements we need to consider under manufacturing overhead. Any cost which you incur other than direct materials and direct labors, that will be the part of manufacturing overhead. It can include indirect materials, labor, factory operating costs, which can include utilities, real estate taxes, insurance, depreciation on factory equipment, all can be considered as manufacturing overhead. We have some more segregation of cost. So let's hear this terminology. We have prime cost, sum of direct cost, direct material plus direct labor. So the sum of direct cost we are defining as prime cost. So very simple to keep in mind the formula of prime cost. It's the sum of direct cost, direct material plus direct labor. The overall factory cost, or we also call it total, you can give the name total manufacturing cost. In prime cost, friends, in prime cost, when we are adding over manufacturing overhead, so this one overall we can call it as factory cost or total manufacturing cost. You can also write it like this: direct material, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. Apart from this one, we are incurring the non-manufacturing costs, which has no link with the production. It's actually the selling and administrative costs. What are the expenses we are including under selling expenses? This is the salaries of salesperson, advertisement, delivery charges, any kind of promotional activity we are doing, all will be the part of selling and marketing expenses. Administrative expenses, this is the cost which we are incurring for admin department, like salaries of admin department, depreciation of the building using by them, all will be the part of administrative expenses. Remaining all terminologies we will cover in next video. Thank you very much.